We speak 3 languages at home: Spanish, English, and Finnish. I was raised bilingually in a Finnish and English-speaking home, and my husband speaks Finnish to our children. Spanish to our children. I'm in charge of 2 languages, essentially, since they're both part of me. We primarily speak Finnish together, me and the kids, but try to have specific situations where we use English, whether it's kids' music or kids' books or events and visiting friends that all happen in English. So there are specific parameters when we use English, even though typically, at least during my childhood, it was a rule that one parent speaks one language so that the languages don't get confused. Learning to read is very important in any language, simply to explore the world around oneself. It's the key to learning new things, meeting people, gaining confidence in general, but also learning to read in I guess all of your native languages is important to be able to develop your cultural identity, to have contacts and connections with all of your relatives in different places. And really, I mean, it opens the world for more possibilities. The more languages you speak, the better. Being bilingual, or in my kids' case, hopefully trilingual, is important. There have been studies about how the brain is more active if you speak 2 languages, how multifaceted your knowledge and the use of your brain becomes, but also just the fact that you have connections to the important people in your life. I wouldn't have been able to speak to my grandmother, for example, had my parents not taught me both Finnish and English in my childhood, and the same is true now for my kids. They have relatives who only speak one language, and it is very important for them to be able to understand the connections between the different generations and the different cultures and who they are as people in this environment. Of course, multilingual living also has its challenges, simply in making do with the environment around you, how your multilingualism is received when you are speaking the wrong language, or just within your family, also just the upkeep of each language has to have concrete examples of how important each language is. The majority language in whatever environment you're living in has many more contacts than the minority languages. So putting more input into the minority language development, whether it's through constant books, reading stories, playing games, watching videos, or traveling to those places where that language is spoken, the more concrete examples children have in their daily life, the more reasons they have to speak that minority language, which is challenging for children. I remember speaking to my father in the wrong language simply because it was the majority language and it was easier because I used it on a daily basis and in 100% of my daily activities. But he still insisted on the minority language being used with him specifically.